it's all about that the mind can heal itself, and the mind body connection and healing the body, which is very much how I operate as well. So what you tell yourself helps you in life and moves you forward in life, and it affects your confidence. It affects your ability to do things, you know, your ability to speak, or your ability to bring that sort of powerful message. You notice a lot of people who have a lot of self-confidence issues can't really speak. They don't feel like they can speak. But once they discover that self-confidence, and whether it might be some self-confidence they had when they were young, or it might be a reference from someone else's self-confidence, they speak up. And a lot of those people actually become, funnily enough, life coaches, because they've had that experience, being able to move forward in life, and they want to help others.
Right on. Very cool. Yeah, yeah, that's, one thing I've thought about from time to time is, uh, getting in coaching of some sort, because people say I'm very inspirational, motivational, and um, it's like I love helping people. Yesterday I was on my run, and I got about a mile and a half into it, and ran into this family that was lost. I don't know why, but at Point Defiance Park here in Tacoma, I'm always running into people that are lost and, needing help, and they always come, just gravitate toward me and ask me the way, and so I show them the way or point them out the right way. But yeah, it's like, anyway, I helped this family get on their way, walked with them for a couple, for about another mile their until they got on the right direction, and went on my merry way. But it's like, that's been happening more and more lately, just helping people out and guiding them. And I don't know where that's going, but yeah.
It's interesting, the people that we attract, generally it's some of the stuff that we're projecting. And maybe at some point you've been lost and now you're found, and so you're leading the way for others.
That's a
You're a
very
leader.
cool way to look at it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you're a leader in society,
Right on. That's
helping to guide others.
very good, very nice perspective. I hadn't thought about it that way. Hmm. But oh
So,
yeah, and I did want to note, I don't know what's up with my camera today, so that's why I'm not on there, up on the screen. It was going on the other window, and then when I opened this one, it said that the camera wouldn't connect, so I don't know what's going on. But
what computer system are you on?
what's that?
What computer system are you on?
I don't know what kind of system it is. It's just the big one here in the radio station.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes there's probably it's probably not plugged in properly, or you need to, with your preferences up the top in your sound and camera preferences in Zoom, it just needs to, it's the video in there. You can select it. I think there's a little icon as well. Up the, I've got an Apple, so up the top it's got video settings.
Let's see. Nope, I don't have anything like that.
I think it's on your login and the setup.
Yeah, probably.
I'm one of these people that has a big technological kind of background. At one stage, I think in my 20s, I was working for Oracle Asia Pacific, and I would go into the countries that Oracle was in and help the finance directors set up their systems and get all their accounting sort of sorted. So that we used to do a lot of forecasting and budgeting, and that's very important in business, no matter how big the business is. The finance directors reported into a finance director in Sydney who was part of the Asia Pacific, and then that would all be reported into a managing director for the region or vice president for the region, and he knew his numbers. He was spot on with his numbers, and that's a really important thing in business, is to know your numbers, to know where your cash is at any particular time. And then that would be reported into the US. So in the US, so you're in California?
No, I'm in Washington. I'm in Tacoma,
Oh,
Washington.
Washington on the other side. Yeah.
Yeah, Washington State.
I love Washington State. I visited there in I think it's 1990.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Very cool.
And we, I flew into Washington, Dallas, and then went to Washington. Well, I flew up to New York and Buffalo, had a look at Niagara Falls, and then came back down. We visited Washington, which was really interesting.
Right on.
Walking, but it was time when the first Iraqi war was on, or ending.
Oh, okay, yeah. I
So it must have
remember
been
that.
George Bush Senior, is it? Is that George Bush Senior then?
I do believe so.
Yeah. And so the White House was all closed off at that time, but a lot of the monuments we got to see, the Abraham Lincoln big statue. Very interesting.
Right on. That's very cool. Very
It was
nice.
very cool. We spent a month in America. It was really very cool.
Oh, nice. Extended vacation or business vacation?
I was in my 20s, so I had been working in the UK, and I found a Delta airline pass where you could get a 30-day standby. And I think we only didn't get one connection, so that was really good. We got all around the US on Delta Airlines.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, we went skiing. We went to the Grand Canyon, down to New Orleans, Florida. We went to Disneyland. Yeah, it was a vacation before we all came home. It was my brother and his wife and I.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I was at Disney World there in Florida in, actually, it was 1990. Might have seen you there. No,
You never know. I'm gonna have a
It
look
was-
at my photos.
no, it was actually on. I don't know the exact date, but I do know it was a spring break of in 1990. I went with my grandparents down to Jacksonville, Florida, and we took a couple days and went down to Disney World, and then drove back up. Yeah, it was very nice being there in Florida.
I
And
think it was March, so it would have been coming into spring. So it was probably around the same time.
Huh, that's definitely odd, very coincidental.
It is.
Yeah. Um, and I've driven through Arizona, but I've never been. I didn't make it to the Grand Canyon.
Sedona we went through. We stayed in Sedona, which is just like the amazing,
Huh.
beautiful red stones, and then through the Navajo area. That was very interesting.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, because I was on a road trip in 2017 and drove through part of California, just pretty much straight over to through uh, New Mexico, Arizona. I went up, went to Phoenix to see my aunt, stayed there for a couple days, and then pretty much went straight from there to New Mexico, or straight from there and headed east, um, New Mexico, Texas, and then headed north. But yeah, I sort of spaced going to the Grand Canyon.
The Grand Canyon is amazing. Just it's just it's so desolate with the windswept, and it's almost like you look at we've got something probably equivalent here in the Blue Mountains, but it's just covered in trees. And you look at the depth of the Grand Canyon, and it is it's just so vast and barren. Amazing. I can't, when I grew up on a sheep and cattle station um, out west New South Wales towards the middle of Australia, and it is very dry. Like your shirt and your picture, it's like the ground is very orange, a bit like the um, around the Grand Canyon, and we have red sand hills and then clay uh, creeks. So there's a couple of different types of country, and the red sand hills can get really boggy. You can get bogged in them as well because they're very fine sand. And then in the out on the clay pans is where Australia is one of those countries of droughts and floods and recently fires. And the floods come down and the silt runs down a lot of the inland rivers and it floods the floodplains and and that's where all the nutrients come down. And so that's where you get all your clay and your silt. And it's very desolate out there. A little bit like around the Grand Canyon. There's not much pick there for animals and different things, but it's very, very drought. It looks like there's been drought there for a long time.
Yeah,
So we loved it there. It was great.
right on.
Beautiful red, beautiful colours. And then it was snowing a little bit at the time when we went through as well. So it's just that beautiful offset of that, the white and the red.
Very
Stunning.
nice.
Absolutely stunning.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. Yeah, my aunt and uncle, like I said, they live in Phoenix, and they were on a road trip. I think it was somewhere right there near where they live in Arizona, and here a few days ago, and they were showing. She posted a couple pictures on her Facebook account of just the desert. And I'm used to seeing pictures of it being, sunny and dry. And here's a picture of it, and it's snowing, and it's like, what? That's crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
If you go down to Sedona and you drive around into the little the town, it's just stunning when it snows. Really stunning.
Right on. That'd be
So
very cool.
I can't remember where that is in relation to Phoenix. We did drive through Phoenix and it seemed to go for a very long time. It seemed to be a very big city.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I'm trying to think of where Sedona is. I know the Grand Canyon is like north or north, just slightly northwest of Phoenix, but,
Yeah.
and I was almost going to go there before I went to Phoenix, but I probably should have since I totally spaced it when I left Phoenix. Oh well, I'll make it back there one of these days.
So in your picture, I can see a large shark. And is this on the coast somewhere?
Oh, the shark. Just a sec here. No, the shark in my profile pic on Facebook. That is that's at Ocean Shores, Washington. It's on the west coast, and yeah, that shark. That's actually the that's actually the entranceway. The doors inside the mouth, the door to the building, and it's a store there in Ocean Shores, sort of like a touristy store, you know, with T-shirts
Oh, yeah.
that have ocean shores printed on them and everything. And the store is called Sharkies,